Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island season 12 episode 7. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell and leave a comment down below. So the episode picks up after the altercation between Meg and Melicia. And so Alima at first is the only girl who went to check on Melicia, and now Meg is switching up the story.
She just said, I have no loyalties against you. I can disrespect you. I said, why pull me for a chat this morning?
I was like, I never apologise for talking to your man. Yeah. Why do I need to come and ask for permission from you? Because, like, who are you?
She's just gone over to Dijon and asked him to go to the hideaway because she said sorry for how she shouted at me yesterday at the mini fire pit, and she's egging him on to go to the hideaway. That's disrespectful to me.
She called Meg an idiot, so I know, but it was in between you two. Like, you don't want her to feel ganged up. It's not nice to see your boy getting like pulled up right, left and centre, but
coming in here with the energy you had last night, sat with Dijon after you've just had the date with him.
Can be nice to boys, so be nice to girls as well. That's all I'm asking for.
You okay, babe?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Genuinely don't think she was being disrespectful about going to the hideaway. It's the same as going to the
That's your opinion, Shakira, that's not mine.
I knew I could count on my girl Alima. What did I say yesterday? Wasn't I calling for Alima? I said, where is Alima? Because Alima is going to call it out like it is. She's gonna say, hey, let's get to the root of the matter here, okay? Let's be direct. What is this back and forth? Thank you. Love Alima down. Oh my gosh. It's so unfortunate that she's not being showcased a lot. And we know at this point, the reason why people don't get a lot of screen time is because they're probably not in drama, and she's not in drama, and she's not really in a couple that people care for. So we're not seeing much of her, but I knew she'd be the girl I could count on. Absolutely. So Meg admits that the conversation that she had initially with Melicia was Melicia apologizing for getting loud with Meg. Melicia's reaction was in response to Meg's action. Please, to the people who are defending Meg right now, give me an example of where Melicia initially disrespected Meg. Don't tell me talking to Dijon is disrespect. Don't tell me suggesting the hideaway is disrespect. She's a bombshell. She's coming in to do what she's supposed to do. Any words that she called Meg was because Meg called her a word first. Meg called her names first. Meg threw in the face of the rejection. Oh, you're irrelevant. That was Meg. Okay? Talking in the kitchen, talking about, oh, go back to tape. That was Meg. Meg believes that it is so disrespectful for Melicia to take Dijon for a conversation, especially in the hideaway, because they had just squashed the beef or whatever. That wasn't what the beef was about. And even if that was what the beef was about, then make it clear that you're closed off. Are you closed off? No? So shut up. Like, what are we talking about here? And I'm so glad that the girlies that I've been rooting for so far also piped up to say, this ain't right. Shakira came over to the girls and she said, you're blowing things out of proportion. Don't do that. And then Tony went to go talk to Melicia and being like, girl, I don't even know what the hell they're flipping over because you did nothing wrong. And I love that Alima also called out Megan to say, you're not in the conversation that's happening. Don't insert yourself in there. And on top of that too, Alima did acknowledge that things that Melicia said were not kind. But first and foremost, the disrespect started with Meg. Meg has this big issue with Melicia saying that she had no loyalty. And then she's gonna say, Melicia said that I can disrespect you if I want to. Huh? Anyways, you have a big problem with her saying the words, I don't have loyalty to you, but you're the same woman who said that Dijon violated you, and you're confused why he's upset by that kind of verbiage. Let's move on, because Meg and her two little birds, Megan and Helena, whatever her freaking name is. Not a big fan of those girls. And you know what's the funniest part about it? Y'all know the beef I have with girls. I will bet $1,000 that these three identify themselves as girls. I bet you they do. Moving on. Connor has a conversation with Tony and he's basically trying to let her down easy. And Tony's like, just come right out and say it, okay?
Like, obviously, I know you more. I know you like 2-3 days more than I know Emily. I think, obviously, when she came in last night, like, she definitely is my type. If I really like talking to the two of you and getting to know the two of you, and I like really respect the two of you.
You can't pick both, doll. Out of the 3 of the girls that came in last night, she's obviously a sweetheart.
You're putting pressure on me to make...
I'm not putting pressure on you to make a decision.
If I'm being fully true, I'd probably be leaning towards Emily.
And I can see that.
I like that Tony was putting the pressure on him. He didn't like the fact that she was doing that, but you are gravitating more to Emily than you are to her. Just this morning, you made coffee for Emily, but you didn't make anything for Tony. And I'm sure she was aware of that. Like, she knows what it is. Everybody knows that they are also coupled up by convenience. So nobody's gonna fault you for wanting to explore. And it is still early days. Just move around. I think that he was trying to let her down easy. She didn't need that. She wanted somebody who was straightforward. She asked for you to be straightforward, and finally we got to some kind of resolve. Shortly after that, he has a conversation with Emily, and he suggests that they sleep in the hideaway for the night, pretty much proving Tony's point. You are leaning more towards Emily. Just say that. It's okay. And it wasn't even, at least the way that I perceived it, it wasn't a matter of Tony saying, like, you have to close off with either me or her. But it's like, if you are gravitating more towards somebody else than you are to me, there's no point stringing me along. Let's just end it here. If there was more of like a on the fence vibe coming from Connor, I don't think she would have pressed him as much. But she could sense, you ain't checking for me. And that's okay. Helena has a conversation with Harry, and she calls herself out on not standing on business. And I said, well, I'm glad you noticed, because girl, you absolutely folded way too quickly.
We made some progress today, like I gave you your space.
I don't feel like I did this morning. I basically wrapped it last night by cuddling you in bed without actually finishing off the conversation, do you know what I mean? Acting like it was all fine, do you know what I mean? But like, I knew that it wasn't still fine at that point. Just move on from it now, like, probably still gonna make digs.
Yeah, no, I think that's a given.
The funniest part about this conversation is that Helena is there like, yeah, we should have discussed it more. You know, I feel like I just let you off easy and whatever else that they were speaking about. But in this conversation, they still didn't address things. And I feel like she's continuing to let him off easy. I get the impression that Harry's the type of guy to want to sweep things under the rug, or to just, you know, well, I guess that's the same thing. I was going to say, or to just say sorry just to shut you up, which is the same thing. And Helena is making it clear that she's probably going to let him do that. She claims this is the last situation, but at the end of this episode, they get into another little spat. If she lets him off the hook again, you're proving the point that you're just going to keep letting him slide. The next morning, Meg wakes up and she says that she feels bad. Oh, you feel bad? Bad for what? I thought you were in the right. I thought you did nothing wrong. I thought the disrespect was coming from Melicia. But now you feel bad. Anyways, child, she definitely has an issue with her reactions. And what's so funny, I wanted to say this before, but it escaped my mind. She said to Dijon, I have the right to overreact. And that in itself is an oxymoron, because an overreaction insinuates that it is wrong. You are justified to react how you want to react. An overreaction implies that you went over the top. You did too much. You are now in the wrong. And she has done that a few times now. And she's going to do that again later on in the episode. Girl, you do too much. You do way too much. Then we have, and plus two, I think I would have less of an issue with her behavior if this was maybe week 3 or something. We're still right at the beginning. Right at the beginning. And she's already popping off like this. If I was Dijon, I would run for the hills. I don't even know what the hell he's sticking around for. And then you have Melicia. She thanks Shakira, Tony, and Alima for coming to her defense. Thank you too, girlies. Yeah. This is the type of girlhood that I would like to be a part of. I definitely appreciated that they not only checked the girls, but they also checked on Melicia. I appreciate that so much. They are still standing on the fact that Melicia didn't do anything wrong, and I fully agree. Maybe it might be distasteful to Meg that she suggested the hideaway, but is it like a blatant disrespect to you? Is it something that she cannot do? Is she going behind your back? Is she stabbing you behind? No, not in my opinion, as a bombshell. Absolutely not. Then we have Dijon, who says that he is sold on Meg, which is fine. Stay there. Stay there. You've seen Meg's antics. You're deciding to stay there. So stay there. Then we have Connor, who says that he is going to focus on Emily. That's cool. Harry says that he's going to focus on Helena, but Helena is still hurt by Harry's words. And she says, there's no one else that piques my interest right now, so I kind of just have to stick with him. But she's keeping a mental note of what he has said. And if he does it again, she claims she'll be done. While Melicia's having a conversation with Shay, Meg comes up and she wants to have a conversation with her, and I'm on edge because I'm so tired of hearing Meg. I don't understand what even goes through this girl's head, but it wasn't as heated as their 2 other confrontations.
Third time lucky, we're going to get it right this time.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going? Good or bad?
I think it's going fine.
I just want to apologise for what I said yesterday. I felt well respected by you yesterday, pulling me for a chat to say sorry.
I said sorry for shouting at you over into the kitchen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say it with my chest. I'm honest, and I generally am sorry for the rejection comment.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Meg, you're rude. You're rude. And I want to bet top dollar that Meg in the real world is used to bucking at people and people not bucking back. It's a new day, baby. Okay? Melicia was like, I don't know what you think this is, but you bark, I'm a bark back. You bite, I'm a bite back. And I'm sure Meg was discombobulated. She's not used to this. I'm pretty sure she's not used to this. So then Meg is like, oh, I thought it was disrespectful that you wanted to take him into the hideaway before I got a chance to talk to him. Why is that Melicia's problem? It is not her fault that you didn't take some time to talk to your man. What does that have to do with her? And on top of that, too, Dejan wasn't under duress. Dejan wasn't being forced to speak to Melicia. He did the respectful thing in your coupling to not go to the hideaway because he knows the optics, but he still went and spoke to her. That's his choice. If you didn't get in there before Melicia did, that's on you. Then it pissed me off that Meg was then trying to rope Melicia into the apology because Melicia wasn't apologizing if you paid attention. She was not saying sorry this time. And Meg is like, well, we both said things that... Is that true? Yes, they both did say things that were out of pocket. But again, Melicia was reacting to Meg's action. And I believe Meg probably would have gotten her apology if she fully accepted accountability. But because at the end there, she tried to say, well, you did wrong too. No. And that's where you lose me. So they play a game. It's one of those, guess the person who did this thing. Of course, we know that oftentimes the people just want to kiss who they want to kiss. They're not really listening to the prompts. But this time, some of the guys make it clear that they don't care what the prompt is. They're already hatching a plan to kiss the girls they want to kiss. So keep that in mind. It's only 3 guys, but keep that in mind. So Harry wanted to kiss Shakira, which he did. Ben was not happy about that at all. Shay wanted to kiss Megan, but she made a face after. And I'm like, at this point, this a big L, baby. Just let it go. Just swallow it and move on. The girl doesn't want you, okay? But anyways, he wanted to kiss her and he got to kiss her. Shakira tells men that she loves them to make them feel better. Women in men's fields. Sorry. Women in men's fields. You go, girl. No, I'm joking. That's toxic. Then we have Dejan, who kissed Melicia. What did I just say about you staying where you're at? Stay where you're at. Then we have Ramel, who kissed Emily, which had Alima pressed, but Alima, as much as I like you, I don't feel like you're progressing the connection with Ramel, so he's gotta move around. Then we have Megan, who has slept with her ex's best friend because he cheated on her plenty of times, and then Connor's the one who kissed her. Mind you, Connor also kissed Megan, right? But later on, Tommy's issue is not with Megan kissing people, it's the intention behind the kiss. Just remember that. On to the girls. Connor has dumped somebody over FaceTime because they were long distance, and Shakira is the one who kissed him for that prompt. She said that she enjoyed the kiss, so that's interesting. I'm also not mad at him dumping her over FaceTime. Now, y'all know how I feel about y'all in the UK talking about, it's just so far. Please. But in a long distance relationship, if you cannot make it to the person, why drag it on? it also depends how long they've been together. If it was like a full-blown relationship, like 6 months or longer, that's rough. Then we have Shay, who slept with a 50-year-old woman at 19 years old. And he says that he was initially dating the daughter, but then the lady like came on to him and then they ended up having sex. That's disgusting. On the lady's part. That's disgusting. Then we have Dijon, who has had 23 threesomes, but he claims it was with the same group of girls every time and they just, were running it back. Now, Miss Meg has some commentary saying, well, this is that party and spirit that see, I was able to look over the 50-50, but I don't think I could look everything. And guess who's upset? Dijon. This is the calmest that Meg has been in terms of her outbursts. Now you're upset? No. Stay there. You wanted this girl after seeing her antics. Stay there. Foolishness. Then we have Ramel, who doesn't, hold on. Oh yeah, Ramel doesn't like when women have boy best friends because he used to be a boy best friend and he had ulterior motives. I wish this was a storyline that was happening on US because I just spoke about this. I cannot stand when somebody is being your friend, but they're just waiting for their time to slip in and be a romantic partner. Like, to me, that's wrong. To me, that's deceptive. I don't think that's true friendship. I don't like that at all. But he's speaking from experience. He knows how he was as a boy best friend, so now he doesn't trust other boy best friends. Then lastly, we have Harry, who I think said he has had an orgy with like 20 people or something like that. Like, it was hella people in there, which basically proves the fact that he had done way worse than Helena. So you're judging her for just being a fun time girl when you're out here having orgies and things of the sort. Okay. After the game, the girls immediately clocked that the guys were definitely playing a game. These guys think that they're slick and they truly are not at all. But the guys have their own issues that they are pressed about. Ramel doesn't like the fact that Alima has not progressed their relationship physically. She does say that she's a slow burn, and I believe it in her case because she genuinely is attracted to this guy. It's just these little things that we keep learning about Ramel that could be keeping her on the back foot. She might, the back foot is not the right phrase. I always do that. Is making her take a step back. There it is. But if I knew that this guy just can dive in quite easily sexually with a lot of people, I would also want to guard my heart before I get into that situation, because I'm not trying to be just a little fling. No, we're not doing that. Then we have Dijon, who says he isn't a fan of Meg's reaction in the game. Don't piss me off.
Why are you angry at me?
You're angry at me? That's not a reason to be angry.
No, I'm not angry with you. I'm upset with you.
Wait, so you're angry at me because you think I'm angry at you?
Yeah. Couldn't give a fuck. The past is the past. You got so angry over it and was turning it round on me.
You chose to add fuel to the fire.
I'm sorry if I made you feel embarrassed, but you also fucking kissed Melicia.
We are open still. You do look beautiful tonight, as always.
At most, he was frustrated, but angry? Also kind of giving microaggression, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm like, you're the same girl who perceived what he did before as him violating you. And now you perceive what he did in this game as him being just so angry with you, just seething. Get a grip. Anyways, she then tries to add his own actions in the game, talk about, well, you kissed Melicia. She does this all the time. She cannot ever just accept responsibility. It's like, no, you have to be wrong too. Look, we're all wrong. Look at us, we're all wrong. This is going to be a problem for Dijon, but stay there. Yeah. And for the record, I'm saying it in the context of Love Island. If you are in a toxic situation, leave, okay? Absolutely leave. Don't put up with foolishness, because eventually that foolishness is going to start to be the standard and you're not even going to realize that you're putting up with foolishness. So yeah, no, in reality, Dijon should not stick around for this. But because I'm annoyed at him, Stay there. Tommy is irritated that Shay kissed Megan in the game, especially because Harry exposed that there was a game happening within the game. Well, I guess it would be a game in a game in a game. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Obviously, H always said there was some unfinished business with Shakira, didn't he? We're not going to listen to the question, we're just going to kiss who we want. They egged it on. Oh, it's Melicia. It's Shay.
Wait, all the boys?
No, Shay, D and H. But I think that's fucking out of order. And I don't like confrontation, but I always stand up for what's right. He tried it, he failed, you shut him down, and he's still going for it.
It is so funny how this is happening right after Deshaun just mended things with Meg. But in that conversation, he did say, we're open. So if you are agreeing that you're open, can you really be mad at who he kisses? I don't know. I guess the intention behind it is different. But still, he said, you're open. You said, yeah. So I don't want to hear no rah-rah after this. I truly don't. Then Tommy is like, I feel like Shay keeps pursuing you because he's trying to get at me. Did y'all get that sense? Because I didn't. Like, I don't think it's personal at all. I think the man just likes Megan and he cannot get the hint that Megan isn't interested. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with Tommy at all, but he thinks it's personal. As usual, news spreads like wildfire and Megan decides to tell Helena and Meg what the guys were playing in the game.
They kissed who they wanted to kiss in the challenge, so him, Dee and Shay.
Harry! Go over here. Kissing the girls that you actually wanted to kiss earlier.
Well, it is serious now. Dee's getting to know Melicia after a kiss. Kissed Melicia.
No, I know.
And now he's getting to know her. Did you choose to kiss Melicia in the challenge before? Be honest.
The challenge was just literally just a bit of fun. It was a challenge.
If that didn't happen, how would I have known?
I was going to tell her this evening.
These guys are so dense, I swear. They're so dense. They're like, oh, it's all a laugh. It's a game. It's a challenge. Yeah. If you would have played the game, I don't think it would have been as bad. Now, somebody can still choose to be offended, but that's on them. Everybody is in agreement that what happens in a game stays in a game. Does that happen? No, but it is something that the Islanders do agree upon, whether spoken or unspoken, right? But you're going to premeditate kissing somebody. There's now intent. It's no longer about the game. It's now, oh no, I want to do this thing and be able to get away with it because I'm going to use the game as a guise. That's not how it works. And they're like, oh, you never intended to hurt people's feelings. Well, feelings are hurt. Okay? Do I care that Helena and Meg's feelings are hurt? Not really. But I kind of care that Tommy's feelings are hurt. I think his anger is a little bit misdirected. But yeah, of course people were going to be irritated. And the funniest thing about this all is that nobody had to know. Harry opened his big mouth and exposed the game as if he was like being waterboarded for the information. Like, you weren't even coaxed for this information. You just gave it freely and now you're screwed. At the end of the episode, Tommy takes Shay aside to address his irritation with him. And I'm still not understanding why Tommy believes that this is a personal attack.
Since you come in, had no problem you get to know Megan. Megan's told me that she's basically shut it down with you.
It's because I think she's fit, well.
Because it just feels like a snaky, slimy thing to do to one of the boys. I had no issue with you kissing Megan in challenge. The way you've gone about it. Speaking to a girl over there and she says she's not interested.
You need to calm down, mate. You need to calm down
I'm
first.
calm.
And yeah, I probably shouldn't have done it. And I'm apologising.
Shut your hand if you like.
Mate, right, come on, sit down with
we've done enough talking, man.
You're walking off. You're walking off and it's still frosty.
Let me calm down then. Go on. Let me calm down.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, laugh, you little smug prick.
Fuck off, you little twat.
Fuck off.
Shay just likes the girl. That's, unless I'm missing something. Tell me if I'm missing something. But Shay just likes the girl. And to be clear, I understand when Tommy says it is disrespectful to keep pursuing a woman that has made it clear that she doesn't want to pursue you. And he feels hurt that a guy would push up on one of his girls, or like his, not one of his girls, would push up on his girl. Like, that part is understood. But the personal attack aspect is what is lost on me. End of story. He wanted an excuse to kiss her. He got to kiss her. That's it. Like, that's it. They start hurling insults at each other, and I'm thinking, Lord, here we go. Now, Tommy, Tommy got a big bark, but does the bite match? I don't know, because Shay's a big dude. You really want to go against Shay? I don't know. And then when Tommy goes and relays the story to the girls, he was adding some extra tone to what Shay was saying, because yeah, Shay did shake his hand, but then he did ask, okay, well, let's sit down because clearly you're still pressed by the situation. But he wasn't saying it to me in a way that was to antagonize Tommy. It was just like, okay, clearly you're not over this, so let's sit down and resolve it before we part ways. But then he's like, yeah, and he was like, sit down, bro. It wasn't like that. It wasn't. But let's see where this goes. Again, I'm loving the authentic relationships in the villa. Whether or not I like the certain people, it doesn't really matter. I just like that it's not this fake, oh, we love everybody. Nope, can't be bothered with that. I like these real interactions with the people in the villa. Love to see it. Anyways, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.